Okay, so hey guys, I'm Allison and I'm a social work major, and I'm here with Team Awesome, Miss Amy Benzie's quantitative literacy course, and we have some super cool things we're going to show you today, but first we're going to start with introductions. Ro?
Hi, I'm Kylie Rowe, and my major is graphic design. I'm really looking forward to sharing all of this information with you guys. Heather Arcos?
Hi, I'm Heather Arcos. My major is in accounting, and super excited to do this video. Hey, Matt.
Hey, my name is Matt, and my major is social work with a double major in addiction studies. And I'm excited to be here with y'all today. Hey, Deanna.
Hey, my name is Deanna Medlock, and I will be graduating May 11th with my technical for hospitality and tourism, and I am looking forward to sharing what we have learned with you guys today.
Okay, so I think that's everyone. I am going to get our presentation up here on the screen. Maybe I can find it. Okay. Okay, Heather, where do I go? Is it present?
Present, the little down arrow, yes, and start from beginning, I believe.
Okay. Present from beginning. Right, here we go. Okay, my screen says loading. Can you guys see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, again, we are Team Awesome, and this is our video interview. Deanna, what is scientific notation?
Scientific notation is a way of expressing numbers that are too big or too small to be conveniently written in decimal form, which can simplify certain arithmetic operations. And the formula for this is m times 10 squared. And in my picture, I chose the oval human egg, which is 120 micrometers. So written in scientific notation, it would be expressed 1.2 times 10 to the negative 4. And the negative 4 would represent the E negative in the scientific notation. And the bigger number would be 3 plus. And I'll give an example. The orbit is 67,000. And so that would be written as 0.7 times 10 to the fourth power.
Thank you, Deanna.
And Allison, what can you tell me about exponential notation of DNA?
Okay, so use scientific notation or exponents to make super small, or extremely large numbers easier to understand. DNA, for example, on the scale of the universe, DNA is quite small, but not nearly as small as other examples, such as a single proton or neutron. Our body contains 3 meters of DNA. That's nearly 10 feet. Where does it all go? As we can see here, DNA is in a double helix, which contains around 25,000 genes for nearly 3 billion base pairs.
Thank you, Allison.
Ro, what can you tell me about the Good Day in a Supervoid?
Well, it's really interesting. Not very much is known about it, except that it's a cold spot in the CMB, celestial hemisphere. It's obviously, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. The cold spot has an angular scale of about 5 degrees and has a temperature which is about, well, 70 something colder than the average 2.7 K temperature of the microwave background once the dipole component has been subtracted out.
Thank you, Ro.
Well, so what happens when data is skewed? That's another one that I found very interesting. It's hard to really determine the results of a graph when there's an error in the y-axis and it doesn't start with absolute 0. As you can see in the comparison here from the unemployment rate percentages and the bowling scores, where it looks like there's a dramatic difference, it actually is very minuscule.
Thank you, Ann.
Mia, how can graphs be misleading, do you think?
Graphs can be used to mislead because they're first visualized, so we see the picture before we interpret that of this. specified on the graph. The starting point, which is the vertical axis here, is known as the y-axis start zone. So if it doesn't start on 0, there's a huge difference in the look. And the range of the data can also exaggerate the height differences on the bars. And also, if you're looking at a high graph, bigger or smaller than what it actually is.
Thank you, Deanna.
Very interesting.
Heather, how do you explain the difference in the information scenario?
All right, thank you for asking. The charts are very different because on the first chart, the values are really close together. So even though the percentages are similar, it looks like there's a greater difference. And then we look at the second chart, and you can see it look almost identical. That is because the values are not as close together. The second chart shows the reality of the unemployment rates, where they were the same. And how it is in the first chart, it looked very different. This might be done to confuse readers and to create biased opinions.
Thank you, Arcos.
Matt, can you tell us why did the arena funding chart make it seem that the 3 non-city contributors donated more money than they had?
Thank you for asking, Heather. The graph made it seem that the donations were bigger than they were because the graph displayed the dollar amounts instead of the percentages that the donations were. This was done to visually inflate the amount of donations made by non-city entities to show more interest in the project when the city had donated more than all 3 of the non-city contributors combined.
Okay. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Hey, Allison, how is the pie chart on the right misleading?
Okay, so as you can see from the chart on the right, the city gave $265,000. It appears at first glance that it would have only been half of the total giving. However, if we recreate the chart with accurate numbers, the city in fact gave 65% of the total funds raised. So we can see here that it is quite a bit more than just half, which is represented in the pie chart on the right.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh. Yep. What is the probability that Americans will develop high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and obesity, or a combination of all 3, Heather?
Thank you for asking. What, okay, the probability that they would develop high blood pressure is about 7.2%. They could develop type 2 diabetes at a 0.1% probability and obesity at 3.1%. And then we look at the chance of them developing different combinations. There is a 0.9% chance that they could have obesity and type 2 diabetes, a 16.1% chance that they could have obesity and high blood pressure, and a 0.9% chance that they could have high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes. And then we look at the percentage rate of them having all 3, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and obesity. This rate seems to be higher than some of the combinations that I previously talked about at about 8.5%.
Thank you, Heather.
And Matt, what is the probability of being obese and not have high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes, and the probability of being obese and having high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes regarding scenario 3?
Thank you, Heather. The probability of being obese and not having either type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure are about only 3.1%. And the probability of having all 3 health issues is about 8.5%. And if you have a combination of these health issues, the probability will rise and you will have a greater chance of one issue causing another issue down the road for your health.
Thank you, Matt.
Deanna, why do we use a box and whisker plot?
That's a very good thing to understand. And whisker plot is used to show the shape of the distribution, often used in an explanatory data analysis. So in the box and whisker plot, the ends are the upper and lower quartiles. So box and is your inner quartile range.
Thank you, Deanna.
Why did you do the shop for height comparison about the upper and middle?
Well, I think that there's a very demographic available for that compared to the one for the military personnel. The most interesting part to me was the shortest one. I believe that they included a child, which is an anomaly. It can be safely hypothesized that the Army recruits were of similar age and most likely the same gender. So that the heights were very close together in comparison. Thank you for asking, Dina. What does standard deviation tell you?
Deviation is the number used to tell how measurements for a group of data is spread out from the average mean our expected value. So different charts here, you can see that the deviation for the Army recruits was only about 4. So that was a low standard deviation. That just means that most of the numbers are the average. And then when we look at the random mall shoppers, the standard deviation was 14. So that's a high standard deviation, and that just means that most of the numbers spread out.
Thank you, Deanna.
Very interesting.
What is the correlation between the data in the charts and the trend lines in the scenario with heights of the Army recruits and the randomly selected shoppers? Heather.
Thank you, Deanna. The correlation between the data and trend lines, the less space between the points, the closer the trend line is to the points in the first chart with the Army recruits. That just means that their heights are more similar. In the second chart, the line is further away from the points because the greater difference in heights of the random selected people. This means that the more random the people, the more random their heights are going to be. Thank you for asking. Hey, Deanna, what are quartiles?
That's another good question. Is that you are looking at. So there are 3 points that divide a range of data into 4 equal parts. The first quartile, which is known as the lower quartile here, is a number that lies below the 25% of the bottom data. It's the middle value between the smallest value and the median of the set. The second quartile, here in the middle, is the median that divides the range in the middle and has 50% of the data below it, the median. The third quartile, known as the higher quartile, which is this one, has 75% of the data below it and the top 25% of the data above it. It's the middle value between the median and the highest value of the data set.
Thank you, Deanna.
Now, can you describe the type of graph you use in scenario 5?
I can. Thank you, Deanna. This graph is a bell curve graph, which is also known as a normal distribution curve. It is a way to plot and analyze data that looks like a bell curve. In the bell curve, the highest point is the one that has the highest probability of occurring, and the probability of occurrences goes down either side of the curve. The top of the curve is the mode of the set of data. It is often used during employee performance appraisals or during evaluations of exams, hence the phrase, "you'll be graded on the curve." Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Hey, Alan, can you explain the roller coaster effect of starting a business?
Okay, so starting a business requires an initial investment of finances, time, and resources. At this point, it's all give and no take. Hence the roller coaster's downward slope. As product is made, the investment continues to deepen. It's not really until a certain number of products have been sold that the coaster takes an uphill climb. Although I feel this illustration is a bit inaccurate. Generally, it's not always uphill from that point. It's really more like a roller coaster with ups and downs. This can be due to a number of reasons, including but not limited to trends, economic status, and location. For example, Hot Springs is a tourist town. Some seasons are more profitable for business owners than for others. Thank you for asking. Heather, what did you learn about the business startup scenario?
Allison, I learned that it takes a lot of effort, time, and patience. As you can see on the graph, when you start, you have to have initial investment, and once you invest that money, you won't have to lose it. And although you might start selling a product right away, you're still going to be losing money. You even get to the break-even point. That's when you recuperate the initial investment until your company's pretty well established and you're constantly selling your products or services. You must be very patient to invest a lot of time and effort to the company. If you are lucky, you'll usually get to see your products coming in. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather.
Okay, what things do you consider when creating a financial budget?
First, I had to consider my income. I need to know what I would be bringing in order to know what I had available to go out. Of course, the next few items are mortgage, utilities, and transportation. It's important to know what my priorities are. If I'm taking a vacation to Italy but not making my house payment, then there's an issue. Finally, I looked at the extras and decided what would be going into savings. A savings account is important. Generally, we should have 3 to 6 months worth of bill money back in savings just in case the uncle happens. Thanks for asking.
Very true.
What did you find most interesting about your current schedule, Ro?
Okay, so if you take a look at my chart here, I discovered while doing my observation that I'm missing 20 hours. I don't know if it's between travel or maybe it's in between classes or a combination of these things, but that's 20 hours of lost time here, which makes up about 14% of my time in total. The rest you can see is balanced mostly between children and school, and I don't see that changing. Thank you so much for asking.
Thank you.
How does that good time management affect financial planning, Allison?
Okay, so Ron said, time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. I say if you manage your time wisely, you will save yourself financially. What do you mean? First, good time management means less stressful schedule. In case you don't know, stress is a killer and can cause some major health issues, which means more time at the doctor and less time to do other things. Second, plan your schedule to time effective, such as scheduling your activities based on location. So you're not wasting time driving back and forth across town. You're saving energy on yourself and not wasting money on your transportation costs. This energy gives things effective. This is the things that productive people do. Number 1 says, focus on minutes. Every minute counts, a minute wasted is a minute lost.
That's so true. Thank you for that.
Okay, but what did you discover about the time management report that made an impression?
Well, this one was very interesting to me. So during our week 2 assignment, we learned about how graphs can be manipulated. While I was making my drink schedule and comparing it to my current schedule, I caught myself comparing weekly hours to a day's hours, which I knew was giving misleading results thanks to that question in week 2, where we learned about the manipulation. I left the comparison for reference, but quickly calculated the weekly hours of the drink schedule and created a new chart so that I can more accurately show my numbers and how much more balanced my week will be.
Thank you, Ro.
Thank you for asking. How does your future time management report look? And what's the greatest percent of time you'll better?
Okay. My future time management report shows the average time I can spend each day on my daily activities. It's quite similar to my present daily life, except for on my future schedule, I have work. Right now, those hours are usually spent at school or doing homework. The graph is an easier way for me to understand, what percent of my day goes where. And I made sure my future report to include family time and just time at home. That just to kind of remind me how important that is to me. Looking at this report makes me very excited for the future. So I'm going to spend about 34% of my day at work. That's not even half of my day, and I'm going to be making good money. Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, how do you create a financial budget?
Well, that is the best thing to know. We all love money, but we need to know how to handle money correctly. So first, you identify the amount of money you have coming in. This is your net income. Then you're going to track your spendings, which I have done in my list here. You're going to set you some goals, make you some plans, then you're going to adjust your habits as needed, and you're going to make sure that you include, when you make your plans and you set your goals, that you always have money for scenarios that may not be a dryer or washer goes out, or a sudden invitation to a concert or girls night out. And then you always want to stay in your budget.
Thank you, Deanna.
Hey, Matt, what are the percentages of your future bills?
Thanks for asking, Deanna. My total for monthly expenses will be right at $2,736, which is 58.2% of my monthly income. I also decided to invest $550 into my savings account every month, which is 11% of my monthly income, because that just seems like a good idea. Thanks for asking.
It's a good idea.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, Heather, what are the percentages of monthly expenses in your financial report?
Thank you, Matt. This report's probably my favorite. My report shows what I expect to be spending in 5 years. Shows my greatest percentage is going to go to a mortgage payment. It's a new house. That's at about 22%. From there, I'm going to spend 16% on food, 15% on monthly utilities, 11% for a car, and 9% on insurance. I will also save money, so I'm not spending it. Plan saving about 6% for emergencies, and then about 5% for vacations or travel. And I also plan to invest money in some rental properties. So I'd like to buy those. About 6% of my monthly earnings are going to go to that. That's going to help me make money instead of just spend it. And this chart is just a visual example of my future plans for my finances. Thank you for asking.
Thank you, Heather.
And Ro, what conclusion did you draw from your dietary analysis?
Oh, this was very interesting to me. I discovered a lot about my weekly caloric intake. The average female my age has a daily caloric intake of 2,000 calories. But according to my findings, I have a caloric intake of only 2,457 calories in 4 days. I eat a diet consisting of mostly fats, which there's been recent development that shows that it's better for your brain to do that. So as you can see, that's quite a difference there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ro.
How do dietary habits affect your financial budget, Allison?
So too many times I've heard people complain about the cost of healthy eating. And it's true that eating right can take a bigger hit to the pocketbook. But does that mean we have to eat unhealthy to save money? Not at all. Consider this: garbage in, garbage out. It's kind of like the roller coaster effect we talked about earlier. An initial quality investment returns future incentives. If you create products with poor materials, you're producing junk that people won't buy, at least not for long. When we eat junk, we are not taking care of our bodies or giving it the nutrients that it needs. That increases the chances of getting sick and facing other major health issues, such as high cholesterol and diabetes. In turn, we're spending more time at the doctor's office and more money lost. Be wise and invest in yourself. Thanks for asking.
Very nice. Very interesting. Thank you.
And Matt, do our bodies need fat?
Well, thanks for asking, Allison. As y'all know, I had some fun with this question. The answer is yes, we do need fats in our diet, and there are good and bad fats for us to eat. The recommended total of fat intake is less than 30% according to the research I did on the internet. And according to my scenario, I ended up with a fat intake of right at 40%, which means I need to cut back by at least 10% to live a healthier lifestyle. And also, I learned that pizza rolls are bad fats. I can't have them anymore. Thank you.
Pizza rolls. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Okay, so I think that is the end of our presentation. Thank you all for joining us in our adventures of quantitative literacy. Do you guys have anything else you want to add or talk about your experience in this course or your experiences with Excel?
I appreciate this group and how hard everybody's worked. Thank you so much for this presentation. I think that everybody's done a great job, and I look forward to working with you some more.
I agree. Thank you, Kylie, for hooking me up with a microphone.
You're welcome.
Does anyone else have anything you guys want to add?
I have just enjoyed the knowledge of how to work with pass that on to you guys in helping to better understand what we're doing. Because I think sometimes when we hear it from another person's perspective, it makes more sense. So I appreciate all the feedback that we get from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Matt or Heather?
Well, I really did learn a lot using the Excel program. It was my first time using it. Pretty excited that I could have finally learned where I could click and actually make it do what it was supposed to do. So it was pretty enjoyable making little charts and graphs and everything. So I did learn a lot using it.
I've used Excel before, but it was definitely a new experience, and I would get so frustrated when formulas wouldn't work or something would click in the wrong place. And I can say that I know Excel a lot better now than I did a month ago. So I'm thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, any final words?
Yeah, I just I appreciate all the help from y'all during this project, and I really like the fact that in this class, if we have to miss a day of in-class work, we can join in via the video chat, and we're still there to learn,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to just outright missing a day of work.
Yeah.
And then we can all meet up on our own time on this video chat and continue to work throughout the week. I think that's a really neat setup for our classroom. So I appreciate all of that.
Absolutely, and I love the opportunity for people from different classes to come together. You know, I'm an online student, and you guys are in class, and it's just neat that we can all join in from different places and different areas and come together to do these projects. So.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's it. We are signing off.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been a Team Awesome production from Miss Amy Benzie's Quantitative Literacy class. Thank you all for watching.